Welcome back to Coffee in the Barn. I'm Alex, your co-host, college student, and future animal scientist just trying to make sense of this wild, rewarding, and often unpredictable industry. Today's episode kicks off something a little different, and honestly, a little futuristic. You're hearing this conversation between me and Dr. Casey Bradley, who's on the road a lot. So rather than making her sit in front of a microphone, we're doing something new, AI-driven podcasting. Casey uses her windshield time, those hours in the car or Barack's van, to voice record her thoughts. And behind the scenes, we transform it into this episode. Magic? Maybe. But really, it's just being intentional with your time.
Thanks, Alex. This style fits me right now. I'm juggling so many projects, and let's be honest, I spend a lot of time driving. Not because I love traffic, but because driving gives me freedom, flexibility, and most importantly, peace. Airports, no thanks. The noise, the rush, the unpredictability, my anxiety skyrockets. It's not a healthy space for me. But the road, it's where I can think, create, and connect.
So how do you pass the time on those long drives?
So some examples of how I pass the time driving is obviously I'll use that time to call loved ones or friends or colleagues I haven't talked to in a while, and some customers. But really, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I have quite a few in the background that I listen to on a regular basis, and sometimes I'll search out new ones. Audible, that's for probably more entertainment. I tried listening to professional development books, but I can't take notes. I can't highlight things, and so it doesn't really work for me, but a lot of times it's just entertainment. And then Pandora. So today's Christian hits is really what I listen to ground me spiritually, make me upbeat, and keep going. But here's the kicker. It's not just about passing time. It's about intentionality. What you feed your body matters. Yes, but so does what you feed your mind. That's why I don't just scroll aimlessly. I choose content that fuels me.
Okay, you've said before you don't actually listen to a lot of animal nutrition podcasts. That surprises people, right?
Yeah, all the time. People assume I'm binging swine nutrition episodes, but honestly, I'm not. 5 years ago, sure, but today I'm running a business, leading a team, solving cross-species problems. I go to the scientific meetings, I read the journals, I watch webinars, and that's how I stay up to date with scientific information. But I need content that teaches me how to be a better entrepreneur, better communicator, and better strategist.
That leads to the big rabbit hole. What makes a good podcast?
What makes a good podcast? Well, I think that depends on who you ask that question to. But length does matter. I go back to being a data analytical person. So I even analyzed the data from the Real P3, and it really showed me 20 to 25 minutes is a sweet spot for ag listeners. And I think that's because we're driving to barns. But if you dive deeper into learning and education, that's probably a good attention span, right? The other thing is solo versus interview. Well, because I don't have time to schedule guests, I'm obviously doing an interview style with an AI code learner. No offense, Alex. But these solo episodes really work best when they're focused and quick. So Greg Martinelli does a great job, for example, on that. Interviews shine when the host guides the story. And that could be a 10-minute interview or a 2-hour one. And then, of course, that really is the host, right? That's everything. People like Mel Robbins and Adam Grant, I listen to them for over an hour. Why? Because they're thoughtful, present, and great listeners. Yes, I said listeners. That's because they're actively listening to drive that conversation, to pull out that story, to get that feedback, that little nugget the audience wants to hear.
So what do young people like me want in a podcast?
So Alex, you're asking me what young people want in a podcast. Well, if it's from Arthur, it's quick, it's fast, it's a reel style, right? Not even a minute. But I'll let you answer that. But I suspect it's just not information, it's relevance.
Totally. We want to hear from people who've done the thing, not people pitching a product. We like short form reels for discovery, but if someone's voice or story connects with us, we'll binge an hour-long interview.
Which brings me to the advice for host and guest, because you make this a good point. Podcasts are about building trust, not selling products. It's your tribe that you're talking to. Hosts get to the real message. Drop the script if needed. I love Jim Smith saying, yeah, I had 10 questions thanks to ChatGPT, and we're off script, one question in. And that's truly what makes a great host, is really getting at the right story. What do people want to hear? And guests, I've had some really great ones and some really awful ones. And sometimes they hog the mic. And the way I try to do this, if I'm really good, and how I started out the Real P3 when I would say I probably produced some of my better podcasts, it's because I did a pre-interview. So I let them tell me their story, and I really got to know what drove them. And then they'd be shocked that we just didn't go over the same content, because I wanted to drive it a different way. I think they had more to hear. But a lot of times I hear some of my colleagues, it's just a sales pitch, and they have to go through media training, and marketing tells them what to say and what not. But really, it's why does it matter?
So what stories do you think my generation, want?
I think the stories you want to be told aren't being taught in school. They're actually in the minds of senior managers like me. But what's also really happening in the barns, the feed mills and the boardrooms. Yes, we can go on virtual tours of barns. We can go on virtual tours of feed mills. But it's really all those stories of what goes wrong. How did I fix that? It's those little nuggets of information, right? That's just locked inside from experiences we had. And we need to do a better job of unlocking that and making it accessible.
Speaking of unlocking creativity, you've said your best ideas come at 70 miles per hour.
Yes, my team loves it when I drive. They actually hate it. I was joking there. I called Morrow with 10 ideas or tasks, right? New directions, things to tweak. He says, wait before you start. I need to hit record, Casey, because he needs to keep up. But here's the truth. I can't do everything from the driver's seat. And that's where teamwork matters. So we've built a mobile office. We bring a lap desk. I have an inverter to plug in the computer. I even have a portable monitor and a wireless mouse. We can hold team meetings from the passenger seat. That's how we collaborate on the road together. And yes, it's always better to travel with somebody when you can. I've been really enjoying the trips with Noelle and Chantel, and we do get a lot done, even if it's just some therapy that I need talking to Noelle.
All right, let's land this episode with what's in your bag.
You want the real list of what's in my bag? Some days I don't know. Sometimes I have things in there from Arthur I forgot to take out. And it makes me smile, and it makes me like, oh, why do I have this rock in here? Oh, that's right. Arthur wanted the rock for some type of thing he's working on. But really, it's not something in my bag, but it's a Bible app. It helps me keep grounded. Doesn't matter if I'm in a flyover town or on I-35 North. It's something that I put into my schedule every day. I also carry that professional development book, because if you noticed, I told you I didn't have a ability to listen to professional help books very well and get much out of them from Audible. This is where I can highlight them, take notes, and it really calms my mind and helps me get a restful sleep. Like I said, the laptop, the second monitor, the wireless mouse is because I need to be efficient when I'm in the hotel. I also try to pack healthy snacks in a lunch if I can while I manage, right? So fuel, we talked about mentally what fuels me during these long drives, but I do need to make better choices as well of what I eat and drink. So I always have water. You'll see me with a big mug with ice water. It comes with me everywhere. Thanks to Chantel, I'd probably forget it 10 times, but she makes sure that it comes, because that is probably one of the most important things in my bag. And that's my kit, my mobile office, my intentional toolkit.
Intentional miles, intentional fuel, mental, spiritual, and physical.
Exactly. Windshield time isn't dead time. It's my growth time. Use it to feed what matters so you can be present for what matters more.
Thanks for riding along with us. I'm Alex.
And I'm Casey. See you next time in the barn.
Hey, listener. Before you head out, want more than just another vendor. At Animistic, we don't just follow the industry, we lead it. Whether it's developing innovative products, navigating regulatory hurdles like a boss, or delivering training that actually sticks for your people. Pet nutrition? We're on it. Livestock solutions? You bet. Data, strategy, science, heart? All day, every day. You'll catch us on the Real P3 podcast, Coffee in the Barn, and at animistic.co, where science meets soul. Subscribe to our founder, Dr. Casey Bradley's LinkedIn newsletter, Manifesting Innovation, and keep an eye on your favorite client channels. Yeah, that's probably us too. We're faith-based, fiercely committed, and full of science plus heart. Want to be featured, collaborate, or just have questions? Reach out technical at animistic.co. Animistic, faithfully serving through science plus heart.